Dune Part 2 made me feel everything. What's up, guys? It's J Matty here, Jacob here, whatever you want to call me. I'm back after the longest hiatus known to man. I know it's been a very, very long time since I've ever made a video, but I am back. You know, I graduated college. And I have some more time now. You know, I'm on a gap year before I go into graduate school, so I am here for a long time. I'm gonna be making weekly videos. Dune 2 made me feel everything. Everything, bro. It made me laugh, made me cry, made my heart pound, it made me feel every emotion in between. Okay, this movie will probably go down being my favorite movie ever, at least in the past decade. And honestly, like, there's a lot of actors emerging now that are going to be like the new faces of Hollywood and new faces of movies. We got Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Austin Butler. There's also a lot of familiar faces: Dave Bautista, Christopher Walken, Javier Bardem, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin. Just an all-around all-star cast. They all fit their roles immaculately perfect. Okay, everyone did their own thing. Every character felt well served. Everybody had an arc, a perfect character arc that's gonna even go on to part 3. Every character felt like they were fleshed out and served their purpose very well. And I know this video is coming out way too late, but listen, alright, I can't. This is my favorite movie as of late, and I can't just not post videos about it. This will be the first one of a few coming on my channel. Okay. Disclaimer: I've never read any of the books before, but I know that Part 1 and Part 2 completed the events of the first book. I went to see this movie in theaters 3 times. Yes, 3 times, because I truly believed it was worthy of it. Okay? Don't judge. It deals with so many themes, but ties it up in a very cohesive way. You know, it deals with themes of religion, if taken extreme, and what that can do to the whole society. You know, Stilgar being a big role in that aspect of the movie, really trying to force upon this Lisa Nagaib, and he also served a great comedic relief to the movie. But in the end, it became low-key kind of scary of how mind-controlling religion can be, and how he truly got so immersed and so persuaded and just so convinced that Paul is that Messiah, that Duke of Arrakis, and to the point where he would do anything for him. You see it at the end of the movie where he says something like, "Listen, Gaib, what are your orders? What are your commands?" When the great houses come, he was ready to do anything. You see how it reflects on the whole Fremen group as a whole, and how everyone was just controlled by this Messiah that was really just a story made up by the Bene Gesserit. And I'm going to make another videos later, but I want to talk about the true villain of the movie. It's not the Emperor, it's not Fade, it's not Rabban, it's not anyone like that. It's Paul. It's Paul, and partly or Jessica, or his mom. It's partly that, but there's so many intricacies, because there is this prophecy, and there is this future fortune telling that Paul has, that tells him there is this only one way you can go. And then it ties into the themes of love, how far you would go for love for your people, turning into this innocent boy into this revengeful, bloodlusting individual. But it's not necessarily his fault, but it is him that's pursuing this prophecy, and he knows how it's going to end. And there are a lot of themes going back to Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. There's so many, even just looking at Paul walking down through the crowds of Fremen in the robes, marching with his army into the Emperor's ship. It's very reminiscent of Revenge of the Sith, Anakin in Order 66, extremely. But it's done so much better, though. It truly, everything about this movie, every theme, every story, it's been told before in film, but they just do it so flawlessly here, so flawlessly. One of my only harps at the end of the movie is maybe I wish we could have seen a little more fighting in Paul's front. It kind of seems like they just walked right into the palace. So, I mean, I guess it's not needed, but apparently they didn't even talk about a lot of the fight in the book at all, really. So it's not necessarily Denis' fault. Denis is a fucking visionary. I salute that man. That guy is freaking insanely talented at what he does. In regards to Chani and Paul's relationship, it really is heartbreaking. I do believe Chani is the heart of the film. And Zendaya just killed the role. She absolutely crushed that role. It made me shed a tear at the end when she ran away and she's waiting to hop on the worm. Like, it just made me feel something. The music in this movie is so incredible, man. I started to learn it on the keyboard. It's the song, I think it's called like A Time of Peace and Quiet Between the Storm or something, but it's like Chani's theme, and it's incredible. So beautiful. The music's incredible. Cinematography is incredible. Greg Fraser made the Batman. So fucking good. So good. So good. Fade. Oh my god, Austin Butler killed that freaking role, man. He really embodied that. It reminded me of like a Heath Ledger performance, honestly. He didn't seem like Elvis to me. he did great. He did so good. That scene walking out in the Gladiator Arena was so awesome. This scene fighting Paul, so good. By the way, that twist that they're harking is fucked. It threw me so off guard. But it brings up a lot of questions like, how does Jessica not remember that? Was she brainwashed into not remembering her father? Like, it's very weird. Maybe that'll be answered later on. Timothée Chalamet just crushed the role. I feel like he really came into his own in this movie. Him as an actor and a character. He's a skinny guy, but he felt very very strong presence in the role. Worm riding scene is fucking priceless. That's some of the best choreographed sequence I've ever seen. It was so good. It was so riveting. Everyone in the theater was just into it. It was so cool, so freaking cool, dude. There's so many things that happen in this movie, but it doesn't feel rushed. It feels, even at times, maybe a little slow. And they do so much, but it just feels so rewarded. And there's so many scenes I can talk about. Listen, again, I'm going to make more videos about this. There's a lot to talk about. I wish I did it earlier. Please subscribe. Please like the video. I have a lot more to talk about. Leave a comment if you like this. I don't know. I haven't done YouTube in a bit. I'm back. I promise you I'm going to upload more.